Howdy guys, Bookie Laura here. It's that time of the month again. It's time for me to tell you what I read this month. Although I only have 2 books in my thumbnail, I have read a lot more than that. In fact, I've had a really good month for reading. I am chuffed to bloomin' bits. In August, I read 6 books. At the start of the month, I actually thought it was going to be quite a poor month for reading. Because I'm off work, I was often out doing things rather than finding that time to read. But most of the books I read I didn't enjoy this month, so that was a bit disappointing. So the first book that I read this month was a library book, and that was Bridget Jones' Mad About the Boy by Helen Fielding. I gave this 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. I generally enjoyed it. It's a different style than I would typically read, but I enjoyed the first Bridget Jones book, so decided to give this a whirl, and it didn't disappoint me. At first I found the diary style a bit more difficult to get back into because it's been a long time since I read that. I found the book quite funny, and actually once I even laughed out loud. Not something that happens to me a lot, but it did. Another thing that I connected with was a lot of the stories around being a parent and all the hilarity that ensues when you're a parent, and I found a lot of that rang really true for me and made a lot of the stories much more real and humorous. The biggest negative for me was that there were huge jumps in the timeline, and it was just really annoying. You kind of get a flow of what was going on and then you jump and you'd be at a different time completely. So the second book that I read this month was also a library book, and that was Dolores Claiborne by Stephen King. Jeez Louise, this is a rubbish book. Didn't enjoy it at all. I gave it 2 stars because it was interesting enough to keep me reading. I only give 1 stars generally to books that are so bad I can't finish them. I found the story incredibly slow. It felt like nothing was happening for most of the book. I spent most of my time waiting for something to happen. That's what kept me going. I was waiting. And stuff, I suppose things did towards the end. Very little. But I just felt, I suppose, that it should have been a short story. There just wasn't enough meat. There wasn't enough story. The third book that I read was Mr. Punch. It's a graphic novel written by Neil Gaiman that, again, I got from the library, so I don't have a copy of it to show you. I was really disappointed by that as well. I gave it 2 stars on Goodreads, and I'm a bit nervous that I'm not getting Neil Gaiman. Okay, I'll start with the positives. Positives for me. The pictures were super creepy, which was kind of cool. I enjoyed that. And I really liked learning a sort of the background of Punch and Judy. But the big negative that overrides all of that was that I didn't have a blooming clue what was going on. Not a clue. I couldn't tell you what the story was. I felt like I was missing something huge and I just didn't get it. So at this point in the month I was very, very nervous. I needed a book that was guaranteed to tick the boxes. So the next book that I read was Infinite Sea by Yancey, which is the second book, comes after the first one, comes after the 5th wave. I'd read the 5th wave. Oh, my world wasn't set alight by it, but it was good enough. And I thought I'll carry on the series because it was in the library. I gave it 4 stars out of 5 on Goodreads. I enjoyed it as much as the 5th wave, which was cool. The most interesting thing for me was that it told you more about the characters who had been side characters in the first book, and it was quite interesting to get to know them and their history and their story. The only sort of slight negative was that it seemed to take place over, the whole book took place over quite a short period of time. There wasn't actually that much that happened. With that, I decided to read a book that my sister had lent to me, and that was The Girl on the Train by Paula Hawkins. I loved this book, and I was so excited that August was not a wasted month. I gave this book 5 stars, which is only my second 5-star book review of the year, I believe. I really, really enjoyed it. I plan to do a more thorough book review on it in September because I feel like I have a lot to say. Just to sum up why I liked it, it's sort of a thriller mystery thing, and I like those sorts of books. They do appeal to me. I like the fact that all the characters were really grey. They weren't just black and white, good guys, bad guys. They were real people with real flaws and real positives, and oh, I love that. And I read the whole book in 2 days, and it's a hardback book, and I hate reading hardback books, and I read it in 2 days. There has never been a better sign. The final book that I read this month, I'm not going to say too much about, but I read it on my Kindle, and it was How to Be a Vigilante by Smitherd. This is a pre-release version that I've been given a copy of. In return, I do a review of it. Because it's not released yet, I'm saving my full book review, which I will do for the 14th of September when it's released. But just to summarise, It's good, but it's no Luke Smitherd top-notch book. It's alright, it kept going, I read it really quickly, but it just did not set my world alight. So there you go, 6 books as part of August. I'm really pleased with that, really pleased. My life is about to get crazy because I'm about to go back to work and I cannot even dream of reading 6 books in 1 month. Thanks for watching, guys. If you've read any of the books, then do let me know. I'll see you next time, guys. Bye bye.